Hello, everybody. Welcome to Amar's Game Chat. I hope you're all doing well and staying safe. I am Amar wearing a Machamp t shirt today. And in case you did not know, the Pokemon Company and Nintendo announced for Pokemon's 30th anniversary on February 27th, 2026, they will be hosting a Pokemon Presents, which is very, very exciting. I'm very excited for it. In the announcement post, they basically just said, how about some Pokemon news trainers? Tune in to Pokemon Presents at 6 a.m. PST on February 27th and join us in celebrating 30 years of Pokemon. See you there. And then basically included a link that leads right to their YouTube channel for when the live stream / YouTube premiere begins, which is going to be very exciting. I am very excited for this Pokemon Presents. Obviously, I threw my Machamp t-shirt on just to basically just talk about it for a little bit. Obviously, we have a little bit of news that I'll talk about in just a minute. But yeah, again, I'm just very excited for it. Obviously, I already uploaded my video for basically talking about the whole 30th anniversary, which is I was very happy to make that video because there's just a lot to talk about and a lot of things that I think might be happening this year. But for this present specifically, I will have a predictions video probably out towards the beginning of next year. I mean, next week, not next year, towards the beginning of next week, and or like maybe around like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, somewhere around there. And I'm very excited for that. I just got to finalize some of the predictions I'm going to make because just alongside this Pokemon Presents announcement, they also announced another thing, which would have been a prediction of mine, being they are bringing Pokemon FireRed and Pokemon LeafGreen to the Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch 2. So I'll play the trailer just in the background while I talk about this for a little bit, or like a couple of minutes. But yeah, this would have probably been one of my bigger predictions for the Pokemon Presents. But I guess there's probably a lot of different reasons why they did this. There's probably they don't want it to get overshadowed for when they show off presumably Generation 10 during the Pokemon Presents. They also announced or released at the same time on Nintendo Music the soundtrack for Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green, so that was also probably the tie-in with that. And they also put it up for pre-order. There's also some merchandise that's going to be that they're releasing alongside it, or marketing alongside it. So they're making it a huge deal, and it is a huge deal. This was the first Pokemon game I've ever played. I didn't play too much of it because I was very young back then, but this was the first Pokemon game I ever played. I got to Viridian Forest, and I think that's pretty much where I stopped, which is kind of interesting. I never wanted to evolve my Pikachu to a Raichu, if that makes any sense. But yeah, I'm very excited for this. I already pre-ordered it because it just looks really cool, and I'm excited to go back. And I guess this will be my main Pokemon game besides Pokopia and Generation 10 presumably for this year. So I'm gonna jump right into it. I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna have a lot of fun with it, and yeah, I'm just very, very excited for it. The trailer is very fun. I'm not sure they are gonna show it off here. I didn't watch the trailer, but obviously it's just right here. It is also gonna be available on Pokemon Day, February 27th, 2026. So right after the Pokemon Present, you can play your Nintendo Switch and go play some Fire Red or Leaf Green, which is gonna be really cool. I'm just very, very excited for it. But yeah, for the Pokemon Present itself, I believe that Cerebi reported today that the presents will be around 25 minutes long, which could make it the longest Pokemon Day presents ever, which will be very exciting, especially again since we are expecting to see Generation 10. But that also probably includes what I'm assuming is going to be a montage of pretty much the last 30 years of Pokemon, and it'll be very emotional for me at least. So I wouldn't say I'm excited for that, but I'm just very interested in seeing the different things they're gonna choose from, because those montages always they always pull your heartstrings a little bit, because it's just so many different memories and so many different things to think about, and it's just kind of emotional. But yeah, I'm very, very excited for it. The Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green versions are available for pre-order again right now. They are $20 on the Nintendo eShop each, and yeah, that's pretty much all we know about it. I believe it is just pretty much the games moving straight over from the Game Boy Advance to Nintendo Switch, probably with some enhancements in terms of the resolution. It's probably gonna be in HD and maybe 4K if you're playing it on your Switch 2 in dock mode. But yeah, I'm very excited for it. Obviously, some Pokemon here. We can see Machamp again, wearing my Machamp t-shirt. That's why I thought this Machamp t-shirt would be pretty appropriate for today. But yeah, that is all I really have just to talk about for the moment. Again, I will have a predictions video for the Pokemon Presents as we get a little bit closer to it. There's a couple more videos I also want to do with Pokemon. I'm related to Pokemon, including like showing off my two binders of some of my favorite cards of Pokemon, like Pokemon TCG cards. And I also want to talk about some of the games before we get there. But hopefully I'm able to make those videos. But I will have that predictions video, and I will have a reaction to the Pokemon Presents. And then, in connection to that, I will have a reaction to presumably again the Generation 10 reveal, which I'm very, 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 very excited for. Because it's been 30 years. I haven't been playing Pokemon for 30 years, but it has been 30 years, and I'm just very excited just to see what this year and all the years in the future will bring for Pokemon. In all different forms. But yeah, that is all I have for you all today. I hope you all enjoyed just this little news video, just some of my thoughts on the entire Pokemon and all the Pokemon announcements from today. But without further ado, I will see you all again in a presumably Pokemon video very, very soon. But yeah, I hope you all do makes you happy. Because my previous name, Generic Cappy, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.